I am the administrator for the Women's Cancer Program here at Magee.
Mm-hmm.
I've been here a little over 12 years, probably 12 and a half years. And started, and I've been in various roles administratively, but cancer is the one that I am most happy in. And got involved with NOCC, I believe, in 2004. It was 2003, with volunteering at the race, at the walk. Because Magee and NOCC had such a close relationship. The NOCC started with 4 women here that were patients at Magee, and Magee helped them, gave them an office, and started up a local chapter of NOCC here. So it's one of the part of my job is being involved with community organizations for advocacy. It's a big part of cancer care. And so NOCC was a likely partner with me and with us. So I started with volunteering at the walk and then the next year I think I ran the volunteer. Next couple of years I ran the volunteer booth or tent, organized all the volunteers, and then I got on the board. I'm not sure when, but I've been on the NOCC board probably since 2004 or 5. I would think so, probably 10 years. We work closely with NOCC in helping to develop education programs for the ovarian and gynecologic cancer patients. At Magee, we used to have a breast education series, and we've had that for years and years and years and years. And then we decided to start an ovarian one, mostly because of our connection with NOCC. And NOCC kind of wanted a vehicle for expanding its area of responsibility to get into more educating and supporting survivors and caregivers and those kinds of things, so that it was not only an awareness. NOC's very mission is about teaching people about ovarian cancer and the risks and those kinds of things, but I think that was kind of one of the first moves to NOCC to kind of help support the patients out there. And so the education series we started as a monthly education series for ovarian cancer patients. We held them here at Magee and Gilda's Club. So we would kind of have a couple a year at Gilda's Club, again, to build that kind of relationship, and then most of them were at Magee. But it was a nice way to bring NOCC together, and NOCC then had a vehicle to invite people in, get people more connected to NOCC, and it was a great vehicle for our patients. And then one year we even videotaped a lot of the programs. And now, this year is the first year we tried having it at Magee, but teleconferencing it at Pasadena. Actually, this year we changed it from a separate breast and ovarian education series and combined them into a women's education series, because we were really dealing with things that affect all cancer. So NOCC does a whole bunch of things. One of the things that is particularly helpful, I think, to women is a new diagnosis bag. So actually, I'm not sure if we started it in Pittsburgh and National picked it up, or there were other places that were doing it. National just said we're all going to do it together. But in Pittsburgh, we've always had, since before I can remember, a new patient bag, and it had like a journal in it, and little things that would be helpful for people, just kind of to say, we care about you. Here's information about NOCC, so that we could, people would know about NOCC and want to be involved. But something that's just the other big thing that we really worked on was a little bit. So picking up the pieces, the PUP program, nice little things, and it started as a peer-to-peer support group, essentially. So lots of NOCC members were trained by our social work here in how to be kind of a peer-to-peer volunteer support. So we would match an NOCC survivor with an existing patient. And it would just be, we try to match up either diagnosis or age or, I've been through these kinds
other
of
relevant
things, things that
sure.
make sense. And so it was just kind of a one-on-one opportunity for someone to be able to talk outside of the clinical world. How did you face having to have chemo? What did you do? How did you handle all your kids? And how do you tell, those kinds of things. So that started as POP, picking up the pieces. And then we've actually evolved that. Magee, with the help of NOCC, got some funding this year from the Ovarian Cancer Research Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. To incorporate what they call their Women to Women program. So it's the same peer-to-peer, it's just for all gynecologic cancers. So we have I think Rhonda has about 18 volunteers that have been trained in the new Women to Women program. And so now we can match not only ovarian cancer patients, but cervical cancer and uterine. And they also gave us funding for a patient care fund, which the patient care fund was another thing that NOCC helped, and that they would allow us, they gave us funding for, I think it was $250
cards back
a
then.
patient, to give a patient $250 to help with parking and co-pays and prescriptions, and I got to pay a babysitter because I got to come in here. My brother's driving me, and I got to pay for gas for him, and all that kind of stuff. So just helping that. So that was the third big thing that NOCC did for us. I have a nice opportunity in that I'm involved in a lot of community events because of my job. So it's a nice, I have a lot of vehicles that I could talk about NOCC and ovarian cancer and what it means, and my family and friends and everybody knows what I do, and so I'm always harping on people about, make sure you see the gynecologist, get your mammogram, get your skin checked, do all this kind of stuff. So, and I think I'm trying to see how to put this. I think I personally break the silence by being able to support the caregivers here at Magee and to have them be able to do their job the best that they can be.